How you doing tonight, everybody? Cam K with you here on GeForce TV for ONTrack Weekly. Could there be any more exciting stuff happening? Yes, I throw the Chandler out from Friends, but could there be any more excitement happening this start of the work week? And Delaware Speedway releases one of the best schedules I think that they've had in a couple years, man. This is exciting stuff, and that's why I wanted to start the show a little bit earlier before we brought on our guests tonight. We got a really stacked show tonight. Really good card of guests coming on. I see Daniel Hahn first on the list tonight, and Dan's got some big news. Obviously, was released yesterday that he's going Oscar Hot Rod Racing in 26. So we'll talk about that deal. Talk about the plans for him going into that division. Why is now the opportune time for him to make that move? Join his brother. Will he be able to unseat his brother, 7-time Hot Rod champion in Ontario, Tyler Hahn? So we'll bring on Daniel. First, we got Courtney Wright, longtime official at Sunset Speedway. She's also on the move for this year, so we'll talk to her about what's going on. And Donovan Clark finished runner-up in the Bone Stock points last year at Delaware. He's got some new plans for 2026, so we'll hear from him as to what is going to be happening with his racing program. Carson Nagy already announced on Sunday that he's going Pro Late racing once again. With a really cool opportunity with Jesse Kennedy's team. Ashley McMartin's got a really cool offer for racers in Ontario, your asphalt racers, and in the Robert Bourne Memorial sponsorship. That is still ongoing. The weekend will be the wrap up for it, but she's going to come on and talk about how things are going with that and what it is. And then the big kind of surprise on this schedule for Delaware Speedway tonight, I thought was, and there's a lot of really good surprises on there, a lot of really, really good details, lots of really, really cool events that are a part of it. Talking CVMs, the Mini Stock Invitational, multiple U.S. series coming in racing as a part of Delaware Speedway's schedule. But the one thing that I definitely was not expecting was the Great Lakes Legends Series announcing that they are going to be a part of the Delaware Speedway race schedule for 2026. That really kind of floored me. So we've got Austin Arnell. He was on the track last year testing his legend car. So we're going to have him talk about this opportunity for the Great Lakes Legends Series coming in and racing at Delaware Speedway, especially for that division as a whole, the Great Lakes Legends presented by Freshstone Brands. This is a really big opportunity for that division as a whole to be seen at a really, really large opportunity on Rogers Television. Hopefully that's at least when that they're going to be on. For some reason, somebody decided to say that there's not Rogers this year. We've not heard anything to the contrary. So there's no proof that they're not back this year. If Alex Nagy is questioning where your source is, I would tend to believe that Alex Nagy knows a little bit more about what's going on with the track. So believe what he says over anything. And Steve McCall, obviously from Ray Cullen Chevrolet, they presented that last year, and he has not heard that either. So we'll put the rumor killer right there. We don't know what the plans are with Rogers. Hopefully they're back for the full season. They've been doing an amazing job, but we'll wait for further announcements from Delaware Speedway because you know that that's what they'll do. They'll announce what's going to be happening with their divisions. They kind of put out the test this year. They put out the schedule itself, but they'll probably dive into a little bit more about what some of these events are going to entail, especially because there's one on this that is very intriguing. It's on a Saturday, and it is the Bone Stock Nationals, Canadian Bone Stock Nationals. Now, there was not a big explanation on the website about that event, but you know Alex Nagy is going to be making the rounds. He's going to be talking about this. You likely look to Race Time or Race Rivals. It's either going to be either or, but you look to the big shows, the big podcasts, the big racing shows where he's going to come on more than likely to talk about what's going to happen at Delaware Speedway in 2025. He's got, like I said, I posted a comment that I really think this is going to be really difficult for other tracks to have as good of a schedule as this. This is a really, really attractive schedule. And as we know, as racing fans, it's all about the attraction. What is it that's going to get you to go to the racetrack? I live 4 hours away from Delaware Speedway, and seeing some of the stuff on the schedule this year, I'm like, well, I'm planning three or four trips that I want to go down and see. I want to see the legend cars out there. I want to see the CVMs, the Canadian Vintage Modifieds, going back to Delaware Speedway. I'm not really the biggest fan of the U.S. divisions because I don't really know them. So that's just kind of a side note to why I'm not going out and saying I'd like ISMA or these other kind of newer divisions that are coming from the U.S. But they're attractions, and that's what you have to bring. You can't, I hate to say it, but you can't put out 3 late models every week and expect people to show up for that. You've got to try and put as big of a show together, as attractive as a show as you possibly can. And Delaware Speedway has been doing that, I thought, very well for the last couple of years. And now they're going to bump it up even more, adding more and more to their cards. So I'm excited about this. I think that their schedule is phenomenal. I hope that we'll see that and reflected in the counts. As we had Karen Martin on a couple weeks ago, she talked about the V8 stock division, and it's looking very good. That there's a lot of interest there. Bone stocks, they've always done very well. Super stocks, we've seen already. Mason Culver's announced that he's going to go super stock racing. I think you'll have a couple other names that potentially will be out there joining that division for this year. And then, of course, the pro late models, we just saw today Jomo Media announcing that Steve Arond is going to do the full season at Delaware Speedway. And then that's on top of Carson Nagy announcing that he's going to be part of the late model division in 2026. So I think that for the last like 3 days to a week, Delaware Speedway has easily put out a ton of exciting stuff. And they're the first track to really put something out there. I'm going to go out there and admit that, yeah, I probably put something out there from Grand Bend that was ill-informed, and we'll get that corrected. But they're going through a lot of change for next year. Flamborough going through a lot of change. Peterborough, not really sure what changing is going to happen there, but obviously there'll be some personnel people moving around in different divisions. And then, of course, Full Throttle, I feel, is going to be pretty close to what we've seen. They haven't really announced anything yet either in terms of a major change to that track. I don't see that there's anything major yet. But again, Paul will announce, and the team at Full Throttle will announce when they feel necessary. So Delaware, again, starting the ball rolling, and that's what we want to see. It is the first week of January, and guys and gals got to get moving on their race cars. They got to get ready to get going and deciding where they're going to be participating, if they're going to be participating in the racing season in 2026. I think this is a great start to the season. An amazing schedule to start the year. I'm really impressed with the team at Delaware. I mean, how can we not be? Really? I mean, last year they had a really good schedule as well. This year, though, like I said, I like more variety. I think that this is pretty spectacular, that we're going to be able to see some divisions that really I can't tell you, because I haven't been in the racing Ontario racing scene for 15 years. It's only been 6. So I'd like to know when the last time is that we've seen the CVMs. If Jomo is in the chat, or if he's watching, he would probably know the last time the CVMs, or maybe Dave Evison, he might know, but when's the last time they were a part of Delaware Speedway for their schedule, and have we seen the legends at all before? That's going to be really exciting. I'm hoping, and I have a feeling like you'll see with the legends participating in this event. Yes, it's a Great Lakes Legends schedule event, but I wouldn't be shocked if you see some Ontario legend cars head down to Delaware and try their luck, because this is a really big opportunity. I can't wait. Honestly, I love the hype that Delaware put into this schedule, man. And it starts off with their season opener is a doubleheader weekend. And that is a great way to start it. 2018, Steve Trendell says, was the last time. So it has been a long time since the CVMs have been at Delaware Speedway, and that is great. Great, thank you, Steve. I appreciate that. That's great news. Um, I love that they're trying something, bringing them back. And the fact of the matter is, you're going to have a legend car division join into this series, but they're there for APC weekend, which is perfect because what that aligns with. Now, again, barring any changes, again, it's off season, so we don't really know the behind the scenes, but if we see the G-Force crew back with Racing America and putting on the broadcast for APC, again, we don't have any confirmation that that's happening, but that all of a sudden puts the legend cars in that conversation to be seen on a platform like Racing America. That does a great, great thing for a small division. We're waiting on Daniel Hahn to join. He's obviously got some really big news that he had put out yesterday, and he's joining the hot rod division in OSCAR for 2026. So excited to see what he will be able to do. His brother Tyler has been the man in hot rods. Geez, basically since they came into existence. And has won 7 championships across Ontario, including Sunset Speedway and OSCAR. So I love that move. He's in a car that was run by Dan Archibald, easily one of the most aggressive and fast drivers in the province. And now that becomes Daniel's ride. I don't see a downside to that. I think you've got really, really, really good a pair of brothers coming into this. They haven't gotten, I don't believe they've gotten to race each other before in this type of situation. The other thing that I was looking at as well, 8 modified races once again this year. Hopefully that's going to help out the modified count. Hopefully we see a couple more guys and gals head out and participate. The modifieds are, again, a division I absolutely love. Something that I wish we had been a part of. I I mistakenly I didn't get to see a lot of Oscar last year, and its schedules did not work out in our favor, and it's one of those things that you miss. You really, really miss. And let's put it out there. Like, it's pretty obvious that they hurt for counts last year. There were some races they had 6 cars in both divisions. Like, it was tough. It was a really, really tough year. But I really like what I'm seeing here. There seems to be a lot of interest. Sunset obviously closing, at least for this year, makes that a little bit more of a reality. That guys and gals can go out and participate in Oscar and not have those conflicts. Not that there really was. They did work very well with Oscar to not overlap. This will be a big test, though. This will be a very big test to see how the Oscar regime does. We're going to have Courtney Wright come on as well. She's supposed to be our second guest, and she's joined up with Oscar. I want to make sure when she's on, we'll talk to her about that. I don't know if Daniel's going to be a part of the show tonight. We're just a little bit. He's running a little bit late, so and I haven't heard from him. So we'll see. I sent him the reminder, and you know what? I didn't touch base with him in the afternoon, so it's possible that he may have forgotten. So if anything, we'll reschedule Daniel for next week if he can do it. And we'll bring on whoever basically joins first. But like I said, I think you're going to see a lot of positives. They brought in Susie Shepard to help with their partnerships. They brought in Sierra Graves to help with the social media. They've got Ashley McCubbin still doing all of their photos. Dave Gainforth has taken it back over again. So I really like everything that they've got there. Jordan Smith, Ben Dennis, and Courtney, of course, all being part of that regime. And Matt Bray as well coming in as a flagman. Brendan Doherty as an announcer. So that's a lot of fresh, a lot of new. And sometimes that's what you need is a bit of a freshen up. And there's going to be more announcements. I have a feeling of people that are going to participate in those divisions this year. But to start 2026, man, I'm so thrilled with what I've seen. I thought the OSS schedule was fantastic. I really like the Outlaw Midgets going back down to only 8 events, including the Frostoberfest and ACC. Really good at some 6 races kind of outside of the playoffs. Very, very smart move, especially when, again, a division that's more of a niche market has struggled for counts in the coming or the previous years. So the fact that they're doing that and they see that problem is good of them to take a step back and say we don't want to overload it with people. That's a very important thing. So you know whether or not we do see uh, changes for some other divisions in their schedules, some other tracks in their schedules, remains to be seen because we're still waiting on quite a bit. But to start 26, I'm pretty impressed with what we've got, and you know what? I'm happy that we were um, able to get people to be a part of sharing their stories, and especially on social media. It's extremely important that when we do get to find out what's happening with tracks, what's happening with drivers, that we get to post that stuff, make a big deal about it. Um, I know Ashley McCubbin posted today that if you are looking to do a release, reach out to her. She is the gold standard for doing those releases, doing an interview, talking about plans for 2026. I will do it as well. Whatever we can do to help promote racers that are doing their thing. Same with tracks and divisions. That's why having certain people from divisions coming onto the shows is important. Of course, it helps if everybody shows. But there's miscommunication and people get busy. I understand it's part of the media game. But I wanted to start the show earlier to talk about how impressed I was with the Delaware schedule, and you know whether or not we see more schedules in the next day or so. I don't know. I'd love to get an idea. I know people were bugging Brad Holmes about when that schedule is going to come out. Peterborough, typically, I think their schedule is normally around Motorama, so they're normally pretty late with theirs. I expect you'll see another one hopefully by the end of the week. No insider knowledge though, like that's just a guess. I think that's normally what we see is a domino effect. One track does it and then everybody else follows. But I know it's been a hard year. Just speaking with some of the people within the tracks, like it's been a lot of back and forth to try and figure out who's available and who isn't available, and trying to book people as well. I mean, we're a track down, unfortunately, and that makes things a little more complicated. And one of the individuals who we all know from her time at Sunset Speedway is Courtney Wright. And you may have seen Scott Pro and Turn 3 Media. They've been very good at showing off the OSCAR divisions through their platform. And big surprise was that Ben Dennis and Courtney Wright were featured right on the stage with Dave Gainforth and Jordan Smith for the OSCAR rules meeting a couple of weeks ago. And so when I asked her yesterday if she wanted to come on the show, she kind of said, "Why me?" Which I thought was ridiculous because everybody wants to hear from her because, she was a large part of the Sunset Brigade, and now she's got a new challenge and a new story to be told. And she joins me because Daniel Hahn ditched me, so you're gonna have to fail him in tech for race 1.
Oh,
Courtney.
for you, anything, sir.
Well, Courtney, it is great to have you on the show. You know what? This is cool. We're gonna have you, hopefully Ben and Dave and Jordan, to talk about the big kind of fun that's going to be Oscar this year. You, as I was mentioned just before you came on, you were on the stage, right front and center with Dave and Ben during the rules meeting, and I was, oh my God, there's Courtney. There's where she's going to go. So how did this all come to be, Courtney?
Um, we both got messages from Dave fairly soon after the announcement happened about Sunset, asking what our plans were and if we thought Sunset was running, like just the normal, what do you think's happening? And once you could tell, it didn't look like anything with Sunset was happening. It was pretty much daily messages and just checking in. What are you thinking? Dave and I have gotten along great for many, many years. We've always worked well together and bounced ideas off each other and just been there to support. If it's been a rough night, one of us would shoot the message to the other person the next day and, hey, how you holding up? That looked like you didn't have an easy night, that type of thing. And
And
so,
now you're going to a traveling division, which is a little different.
not a little different. I've been spoiled for 13 years. My home track is 7 minutes if the light is red.
Oh
So
man.
this is a big change, and I'm not going to lie, that was part of it. If I'm traveling, I don't know if I wanted it to be every weekend. If you're
Yeah.
adding a 2-3 hour drive in, or the closest track to us is Peterborough, and it's taken us 3 hours with traffic before. And so when you start putting in that and Saubles further and Delaware and Flamborough, and it wasn't even about the quality of track or the program or do you really want a 14, 12-hour day with a 6 hour drive? And I know how many drivers do that and how selfish that sounds. But again, I have been so spoiled with
Very
seven
true.
minutes. If I forget something at home, I can run home and get back before anyone ever noticed I was gone.
Well, it's funny because you had messaged me yesterday, and I said this earlier on the show, and you said, "Why me?" I already have people in the comments saying they're only here for you. So that's the reason. The
So
tire
my bribery
goddess, and
worked well.
yeah, and you're moving into a role where you kind of this is a tech thing. Like you are not to be messed with this year, and I've heard you've been studying up and you've been preparing yourself for it because little birds like to tell me this information, so I'm
It's,
prepared. This is a huge opportunity for you, and you're taking
oh,
it
for
very
sure.
seriously. Are you excited to get going?
Excited, and I'm not gonna lie, a little overwhelmed. That's
Yeah.
the caliber of drivers in Oscar. They will have forgotten more than I can ever learn in racing. And how do you argue something in tech with somebody who could rebuild that engine with their eyes shut? And I'm trying to pick apart one small rule, and I know they can talk circles around me. And having said that, writing the rule book, who do you think I've been reaching out to? And a few of them have said, hey, here's what I think. And just so you
Yeah.
know, Courtney, I'm telling you that I'm going to have to take it out of my car now. So they're giving honest answers of
Yeah.
here's a rule that needs to be fixed up or played with or something that
Yeah.
they've been using to their advantage. And it's such an amazing group to work with so far. And let's hope I'm still saying that halfway through the season, but like
Was
just the
was
knowledge in those drivers.
Courtney, was there ever a time where you said maybe I'm not going to do anything racing related?
There was one bad night at the end of Sunset where I was
Yeah.
exhausted, I was hot, I was tired. I think I'd had shingles that week trying to run around the track, and so there was about an hour. That's about it, to be honest. I'm When Ben and I were talking, all I said to him was, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm not done. I know I'm not done. I've worked very hard to get where I am, and especially being a woman, I've had a killer team around me to do it.
Yeah.
And I think I'm moving into one that personally could care less if I'm a man or a woman in the best way possible.
Yeah.
But
I
that
think
opportunity doesn't happen for everyone. And I
no, it
don't want to wait.
doesn't. Yeah. Yeah, I love that you're getting this chance, and especially because you are already a face that people know. It makes it a lot easier, I think, when they go to the track and they see you there. But for prep stuff, obviously, like you said, getting the knowledge from the racers is definitely going to help, and the fact that you're already comfortable with the team, you're not brand new, you know them, is
Yeah.
great. I felt, and I don't know what you think because you're coming into this operation. but it feels like a refresh and a reset for Oscar since they kind of have gone back on their own. They've got all you guys coming together. You've got Brendan there, you've got Ben there, you've got Matt coming with you as well.
Oh, Sunset's old staff is almost outnumbering Oscar's staff at this point.
You too. You've got to feel like you are literally just at home with the same people, and this division is going to take off.
I agree. Dave's setting up this awesome team, and I was more than impressed working with Jordan at Colors and hearing him over the radio. And there were some calls that he genuinely could have gone either way and would have been in the right to have gone either way. And in my opinion, he made the right call every time. He asked for opinions when he wasn't sure. He talked it out, and there was Ben, myself, Matt on the headset with the Oscar team, but I mean, knew walking in. And Flamborough and Colors was a fairly seamless transition. And at that point, none of us had accepted the position. We were there just to help with playoffs. I wasn't there as Oscar Tech. I was there as Courtney helping Oscar, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And was still able to nicely blend it in together. And I was really impressed. And that definitely helped Dave's cause, to be honest, because if he's willing to make the hard calls on a radio without this knowing the support of the team under him, what's going to happen when he does know that and respect that, if he's already willing to make those not controversial, but do you know what I mean? Calls
Yeah.
that could, there was a safe answer and the right answer. And I
Yeah.
think he picked the right answer every time.
I was really impressed during the and thank you to Scott for recording and live streaming those meetings, which is something I encourage every division and every track
Yeah.
to be doing because as we've said, I think you get a lot more interest from people and a lot more conversation going if you do live stream because people are afraid to do it in person. Let's
Yeah.
just face facts
Oh,
here.
and,
That's kind
or
of
can't make it.
or can't make it, and people can take their phone with them and be out and still tune in, or
Exactly.
go back and watch it. And that's the other thing.
Yes.
But what Dave did, which I was so appreciative of, is he flat out said, we have a problem getting cars in this division. He was talking about a specific division. I'm not going to mention it,
Yeah.
and he went straight to people and said, listen, if you want this division to exist, we need to get more cars. We need to make it easier. And it's not beating around the bush. It's telling them exactly the truth. And yeah, it might not be the most popular thing to say, but it's the truth.
But yeah.
And you guys kind of, and as Jordan mentions, tech is important. Your drivers want this. They wanted a tech team, so Dave went out and got a tech team.
Yeah.
You guys are now in that position. You've done it for a while though. Like you guys are not brand new to tech at all. Like you've done.
Oh no,
tech
Ben's
aspects.
been tech for years, and I've been in it. The tire program was always my baby. I won't lie on that one. That was my pride and joy, and took up pretty much every ounce of my time in the summer. But that didn't mean I wasn't right next to Ben and Mike doing, or Dave Lewis or any of that group. And Dave Lewis, who went super late, don't forget he's Sunset too.
Yes.
But I've been working with them for so many years in that aspect of, there's some parts I don't quite understand what I'm doing yet.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean I don't know how to do it.
Yes.
Right. And that's where Ben and I've been working this winter, of him helping me find books to learn and teach me and talking to drivers. And
oh, I love it. I love it. I love that you're not getting it's not a guessing game. It's not it's let me find the answer if I don't know it. Let me look it up. Because I'll be honest, I've talked with so many racers over the year. I talk with them every week at the track and on these shows. And the number one complaint is tech. Always.
Oh, 100%.
And unfortunately, that is the case. Like that's.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't mean that tech is bad. It doesn't mean that tech is good. It just means something about it is not what they like. Yeah. But a lot of the times is that it wasn't teched properly. It wasn't teched enough.
Yeah.
You guys are coming at this, and you're the fresh new faces. So are you expecting a little bit of resistance after race number 1?
To be honest, no.
Really?
And please know I mean that in the best. There are very few drivers that we are about to approach that neither of us have ever worked with. Whether it be at Sunset or when we did Ducasa, we've worked with Oscar. This wasn't our first go around. A couple of years ago, Ben, Mike, and I helped Dave out. That could be me being hopefully optimistic. I'm not saying they're always going to like me,
No,
but I
no.
don't think we'll get pushback in that aspect.
I think that's one of the things that I've heard from drivers. Again, same, just like literally what you just said. That's I'm loving this because you're saying exactly what I've heard from them, which is they just want consistent, and that's the big word is
Fair,
consistent and fair. Fair.
100%.
No favoritism, none of this kind of crap and that kind of crap. And I'm gonna end the time with you on the
Yeah.
show by saying, and this comment says it all, and this is where I'm saying this year for Oscar feels different. When you want to be the best, you hire the best, and that is what I have in Oscar, and that is directly from Dave Gainforth. So that has a ringing endorsement all over it
I
for
will
you.
take it.
I am so excited for you. I can't wait to see you at the racetrack and likely at Motorama.
Yeah.
It's really
Oh,
too
yeah.
long between our visits, and I'm
Yes, it
so
is.
excited. I'm going to see Oscar this year. We're not missing out. We're
Perfect.
we're going
I'm
to
holding
see
you to
it. So,
that.
Courtney, all right. Thank you so much for joining me on Track Weekly. Have yourself a great night.
You too. Bye, Annie.
That is Courtney Wright. You can see her with the Oscar divisions in 2026. And again, Dave Gainforth in the chat. You guys got questions? You want to be a part of Oscar? Reach out. Lots of partnerships available. Racers, modifieds, hot rods, and then of course your super late models. Oscar has got itself in the right direction for 2026. We're going to bring on Donovan Clark from Delaware Speedway next. And Donovan's actually joining us and talking about his 2026 racing plans. And Donovan's somebody I've gotten to know over the past couple of years. He's been a pretty regular appearance here on our show. He's actually so appearance perfectly. He's sideways. Um,
Oh,
And we got Clark's Dose Clark's here to start the show. So Donovan, Brad are here. Well, what's going on, boys? I think you've got some news to talk about, and I know Donovan's been really excited. So let's just start before we get to the news. Let's break the ice and say, how did we feel about last season, guys? Second in points. It literally went fourth, third, second in the bone stock points, Donovan. I don't know if you planned it that way, but it worked out quite well.
yeah, we were really hoping for a championship there. Just some things didn't go our way, and we couldn't do much things about it. So
Yep.
it was a little heartbreaking, but we live and we learn.
Yep.
2026 is a new year, and that's all we can ask for.
2026 is a new year, and it sounds like there's some new plans for you. So, what is it that you wanted to talk about tonight and share with the racing world?
Yeah, so the turtle has left his nest and has came closer to the Thedford area. So Lake Huron has founded Turtle, and that's where the OSS car of Ollie Ferguson is now in our hands.
So, breaking, I guess, right now that Donovan Clark is taking his talents to the Ontario Sportsman Series. Are we doing a part-time schedule, a couple of races, or are you guys going to go for full?
We're going all in this year. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be completely new for us. I've never really driven a rear-wheel drive car on the track, aside from a long time ago in a junior late, and we tested our pro late model. But yeah, this is going to be a learning experience for sure.
Now, why was it? Why was this car and going to the Fergusons the right deal for you guys?
I'm going to let him take over.
Yeah, there was four cars out there for sale.
Yep.
Um, I was kind of led to Ollie's car. And with talking with Rob, we got a lot with the car, like all the gear sets, a rolling chassis, a few body parts and parts. Yeah, it just seems like a good deal. Like other cars were just no rear end, like no rear center pot,
Mm-hmm.
and it was just a rolling chassis. So, and they were the same price pretty much. So yeah, and it was a good car. I've heard a lot of positives of it. So yeah, that's why we went that way.
What I love about this is a chassis. For those that don't know, this goes back, as far as I know, this goes as far back as Cole Weber in the OSS series, right from the initial season. It predates that in the CASCAR Sportsman series, when Cole was a rookie. As far as its lineage back further than that, I don't know. I'd have to contact Kevin Trevlin for that. But why the OSS, guys?
I don't know. It's a traveling series. Their schedule is like next to none. Like it's every other weekend. You can't ask for any perfect traveling schedule than that.
Yeah,
Um,
And you get to go to every track as well. Yeah,
yeah,
sure, you go to Flamborough 3 times, Delaware twice, Peterborough once, but to make the drive to Peterborough, for us at least, it's going to be a hike, but it's something we've always wanted to do. So I'm stoked for that track.
I think one of the
and
things that you'll find is the camaraderie in this series is amazing. I loved it when I was working with them full time, and the racers are amazing. And you got the McGlynn's, Kevin Trevlin, Corey McAllister, and his team, Connor James, obviously the champion from last year. Um, eh, you know, guys that have been in this division for 20 years,
yeah,
and they're all willing to help out. And that's the
yeah.
one thing that I can say that I absolutely love is I know when Ollie joined that series and Rob joined it that they didn't know what they were doing, and it they got a lot of help from people, and Kevin Gallant was a big help for them, and it will be a definitely a learning experience. But I've said to people that have been asking about who's going to be taking over, and I said, well, it's a guy that doesn't tear up his stuff. Because you better not, because this is not a bone stock anymore, right, Donovan? This is. Are you gonna try and get some sort of testing in, or a couple laps practice, or something like that extra, because just to get some laps under your belt behind the wheel?
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
hoping the car's fully done. Um, well before the season starts. We can get practice in at Flamborough and hopefully a little bit more at Delaware and just to get the feel of the car itself.
Just
and
kind of basically got to wait for all the schedules to come out and see what's where, right?
that's
Gotta know
exactly
where
it,
it
right?
started. So hopefully we can get out and you know, obviously the first of the year, all the dates are going to be Saturday.
Yeah,
So you're gonna have to pick and choose. Do we want to go to Sable where we've never been before? Do we go to Peterborough, which is a long hike, or do we just go to Flamborough and make sure we definitely be at Delaware? Maybe run the V8 class the first opening night just to get some laps.
definitely
Just run at the
recommend that.
back.
Yeah.
Run at the back. Just get used to the
Yeah,
car. Don't
don't
don't go in
don't
and
pull up
disturb
Brendan
their
Patrick.
program.
Yeah, he had
Yeah,
a rough go of that at the end of the year last year, where he was in the V8 stock and it destroyed his OSS car. So don't do that.
just stay in the back and stay out of trouble. Let them guys race for their
Exactly.
championship and points, right?
Exactly.
So yeah,
I love it. I'm excited for both you guys. This is a huge deal for you. Um, if people want to get involved with your program, because you guys are going to be new on the grid, and I'm sure you'd be more than willing to take on some partnerships and some
Yeah.
oh
sponsors
yeah.
onto the show. But how could they get involved with you guys? How could they reach out?
Yeah, so I have Instagram, Facebook. Um, Facebook, you can reach me at Clark Motorsports, and then or you can go to my main Facebook, Donovan Clark. Message me on there, completely public. And then same with Instagram, Donovan.Clark, and then Clark Motorsports as well on Instagram. So yeah, anyone willing to help out with the program or get involved, we are asking everyone for help. So anything is better.
Well, I told you Kevin Trevlin would know. He says not 100%, but it may have been an old Ted McIntyre cast car race car. So it
I know
goes back even further.
I know Ron Fellow's son used this car to do his qualifying and testing in for
He
NASCAR
did.
or for
Yep.
the Pinty's car. Yeah, and there's a few other names, but like I was telling Donovan earlier, I can't remember for the life of me. But yeah, the car's been around, but
It's been
yeah,
fast.
yeah.
Well,
So
boys, congratulations. I'm really excited. All these iRacing,
yeah,
what he said to wish you guys the best in Turtle. Cole Weber did build it, says Rob Ferguson. So it is a 2000, would have been around probably 2005, 2006. So
yeah.
good car, fast car. Can't wait to see you guys out there, and I'm excited for
We,
you. So have a good couple months. Get ready to get going,
yeah,
and
we are. Yeah, we
we'll see
can't
you.
can't wait to get out there and hang with the guys and
Yeah, and if
yeah.
anyone's looking for a pro late model or a bone stock, hit me up.
There
We
you
got one for
go.
sale.
There
Or a
you
mini
go.
sprint. Or
Trevelin,
a yep.
he's got a late model for you. There you go, Trevelin.
Yeah.
Um, all right, thank you guys.
All
Awesome.
right.
Thanks, Cam.
Thanks. Have a great night.
So big news for Donovan Clark out of Delaware Speedway. And of course, speaking again out of Delaware Speedway, bring on one of our favorites to talk to, and he's getting a great opportunity here. Carson Nagy joins the show once again. Wow, sporting an Anaheim Ducks classic hat. Me like that one a lot. Is that that's the refreshed version, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Well, nothing exciting is happening with you, eh, Carson?
No, nothing out of the ordinary.
No, eh? Well, your season ended. I talked to your brother on this show a couple months ago, and we talked about, man, that sucked. It was nothing else to say. It was just a rough way to end the championship for you, but shit happens, and sometimes the best comes out of it. And your news on Sunday, man, getting to race with Jesse Kennedy's Pro Late team for 2026 at Delaware Speedway. How did this happen, bud? Because this is amazing, exciting news, and I've been waiting to see you back in a Pro Late model, and we finally get to see it. So how did this happen?
Yeah, honestly, it was pretty random. It's a really cool relationship we have with Jesse and his guys. Just I've spotted for him a few times in the past at a couple of the Great Canadian Weekends, and last season, probably 4 or 6 weeks before, he offered us that car for the 300, and we were able to make it work and got out there. It wasn't very long lived, unfortunately, but gained a lot of experience, had a bunch of laps, and it was a ton of fun. And then Friday, the night before, kind of changed our whole plan. We posted our cars for sale just to get any feelers out there. But yeah, after Friday, I wasn't going to be racing this year. So that was kind of it.
Oh,
Um, then Jesse and Jamie Hartley, they talked to us, and we are working on a deal to run the late model this year. And yeah, just finalizing a few sponsors and getting the opportunity to run at Delaware. It's going to be a ton of fun.
so you finally get to show Ray Morneau who's boss. And it's gonna be tough because Ray's always up at the front at Delaware, and he's constantly a championship favorite. But uh, you mentioned that you may not have been able to race. So did you sell your super stock, or is it destroyed?
So McCall Racing has it now. They're offering it to rent. You can buy it, lease it for the year, whatever you think. I know it'll be fast in their hands once again. It was a really good car, lots of speed everywhere we went. So if you're looking to rent a super stock for a race or two, that's it. That's the one. But yeah, just after we wrecked it was a tough spot we were in with that car, and I was just going to be watching for the year.
How are you feeling after all that? Because you got your bell rung pretty big in that one. Hardest hit you've had?
Yeah, by far.
Oh yeah, eh?
It was a rough angle in the super stock, just with the left rear and then slapping
Mhm.
the left front. Was dealing with a concussion. I was definitely concussed before the late model race,
Oh
but
shit.
we were committed, and it was a rough few days after.
Yeah, but you're feeling good now?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So for those that don't know, obviously you guys are going to go out in this pro late race. Like Jesse's had two pro lates. Is he done, or is he going to race alongside you? Is it just a one car effort this year?
No, he'll be out there racing just like normal.
I I love this. I love it so much because I love that you're getting to race at Delaware. in the late models. You've done this before. Like people that might not remember, but you have raced late models before, for many years, I believe, and then step back into the super stock. When was the last time you were racing, aside from last year, that you raced the pro late model?
Yeah, we had a really cool opportunity with Kenny Hill, Jukasa Motor
Yeah.
Speedway, all his partners. We were running Flambro in 2019, did a couple races at Jukasa in the APC series. Um, we weren't ready for it. I was 15, 16, way too young, and I wasn't ready for it. So, yeah, we'll see how this. I think this time around will be a little different. I got a little more experience. We'll have McCall's in our corner, Paul, Joe for our support. So, really looking forward to it.
And you know what? It looks right now that you're going to have a pretty good field. I mean, we've already seen a couple of announcements already of racers that are going to be out there participating. We expect to see like your Paul Majors back out there, Ray Morneau back out there. I would expect to see Johnny Arts out there. And then just today, Joe Momedia mentioning Steve Arond is going to do a full season as well. I would expect you to see Matt Robley out there. I'm hoping that we get to see the Zardo late model out there. Just seeing Billy and taking shots at you made me just be like, I want to see another Lane and Carson battle, but in the late models. That would be a lot of fun. DJ Christie says big fan. So there we go. DJ Christie, big fan of you. Realistic goal for you guys. Obviously, you're fast at Delaware Speedway, but Superstock's not the same as a pro late model. So what's a realistic goal for you? We'll start with just the first race of the season.
Honestly, just getting up to speed, like you said, they're so different. I've never, until the first two races I did at the end of the year there, I never ran a pro late at Delaware before, so it was still pretty new to me, just with how hard you can push those cars. Yeah, just like I said, getting up to speed, trying to be competitive. We're going out there, we're racing, trying to be competitive, but got to be realistic at the same time for the first couple nights. Lots of learning in the shop,
Yeah.
learning about the car and everything. So yeah, just trying to get up to speed as quick as we can.
It's going to be a loaded question here, but you did the 300, and it didn't go great, but with this opportunity to run Delaware for the regular season, do you think there's potential then for doing the 300 at the end of the year? Something that you might discuss with Jesse and maybe get some funding towards, like, is that something that you would be looking to do at the end of this year?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
We're interested in getting into a couple of those APC shows. Again, we just got to see how the season's going, first of all, see how up to
Yeah.
speed we are. Overall, it wasn't a terrible start that for the 300 last year. We were all right.
No.
But yeah, got to get some laps under my belt and see how we do in leading up to that second or third APC race. I'm still working on a couple sponsors right now, so see where it all goes.
Obviously, for those that aren't familiar, I mean, you've been a long time competitor in the super stocks and very, I mean, I asked the question a couple weeks ago if you were the best super stock racer. Well, now you're not a super stock racer, so I can't really call you the best anymore. But you over the last couple of years, I mean, Caden Lapsovich pointed it out on a post a couple months ago, stating like this just the sheer amount of wins over the last couple of years that you've had in this division, it clicked for you. Um, we don't know if this is a multi-year thing. Like you're just going at it for right now. So feeling it out is one thing. You've got the feel behind the wheel before in these cars, and you've said, you've got those experiences. Delaware is a whole different story. It's, as we talked about, it's not Flambro. It's a far difference from Flambro. But do you expect that super stock experience is going to play in favor for you, or are they just two completely different things that you're gonna have to kind of relearn and change your driving style because the pro late is a different animal altogether?
Yeah, fuel wise, honestly, they're two different race cars around.
Okay.
I learned that the hard way. I went out testing and was running just like I would my super stock, and I was way off the pace. But just the laps and experience at Delaware, absolutely, that'll get me good notes mentally just going into it. At laps and anything at a track you're gonna race at, it's gonna help, right? So it's all experience, it's all learning the little unique parts of the track. So yeah.
How can people help for you, Carson? Because we know you've gotten some great partners over the years, and some partners that you didn't have from the year before. You're good at getting some new, fresh, partnerships on your race car. Obviously, Jesse's he's got some funding on his program, but you will always look for some partnerships. So, how can people get in contact with you for your racing season in 2026? Of course, that is your Delaware full schedule season slate, and then potentially APC races, which are, of course, they're the top late model division in Ontario, broadcast on Racing America. So, how can people get in contact with you if they want to become a partner or just help out?
Yeah, reach out to me on Facebook, my personal account, Carson Nagy. That'll be the best. Instagram as well, Carson.Nagy93. That's another good spot to reach me. And yeah, I would love to chat and get you on board, helping us out. It's see what we can come up with coming into March here.
You have one of the best racing fandoms. There's a lot of Carson Nagy fans out there. You've obviously been part of the Delaware family for such a long time, racing there on a regular. You saw their schedule came out today. What's one of the events that you're really looking forward to? Something new that's coming to the track in 26.
I'm really interested in going to see those 410 sprint cars that are around
Yeah.
there. I've seen the IMSA mods. Those were awesome, unreal in person. But those sprint cars, I've never seen them before on asphalt, so I'm really looking forward to that. Bone Stock Nationals, I loved seeing that on the card. That'll be really cool to go watch. And who knows, maybe I'll talk to my buddy Wade, see if we can get a bone stock for that one.
Let's do it, buddy. Donovan Clark was just talking about they're selling one, so there you go. They got a pretty good one out there. But Carson, bud, I'm excited for you. I'm hoping we'll get to see that pro late. I don't know if we'll see it at Motorama or not, but hopefully we'll see you there. And best for the rest of the off season, and can't wait to see you out at Delaware.
Yes, thanks again. Thanks for having me.
That's Carson Nagy. Of course, make sure you guys go out and support him. He's one of Delaware's top stars, and he has been over the last couple of years. And speaking of stars, I mean, we're going to bring on one of my favorite stars of the racing community, whether she realizes it or not, she is. And that's Ashley McMartin joining me. And Ashley is here because she's got a really cool opportunity for racers across Ontario, asphalt racing, oval track racing, and that's the Robert Bourne Memorial sponsorship. And Ashley, I brought you on the show to talk about this, and we'll talk first about what it is and who your winners last year and kind of what the process is. But let's just start it off with what is the Robert Bourne Memorial sponsorship?
It is my dad.
Her dad, everybody.
This is my dad. I lost my dad last year. Well, now we're technically into the second year, December 27th, 2024. My dad was everything to me for many, many years, and we were race car fanatics. I actually shared on my personal Facebook page one of the letters when he was a long haul trucker, he would actually send me letters. And there was always digs about something like Rusty sucks and Earnhardt rules, because I was a Rusty fan. I always have been a Rusty fan, always will be a Rusty fan. And he was an Earnhardt fan. And it was just, Rusty's a loser. He's dragging an anchor. And there was always little notes everywhere. And he's the one who brought forth my passion for racing and, took me to Mosport and got me into the track and got me into racing. So to honor his memory, my dad was one of the most humblest people you will ever meet. Would give you the shirt off his back, and wouldn't think twice about it. Would always help somebody, whether they were down. I know he did crew on a few teams. My memory, my old age has kind of gotten the best of me. All I remember is that it was Mosport, and the car was actually sponsored by Old Dutch Chips, because I remember getting free chips all the time, and that was like the biggest highlight.
I think that's Kerry Mix.
Oh.
I think that may have been Murphy's chips that he had, but I think so. We have to take a look at that, because I know there was a chip car that Kerry Mix drove. So
yeah, we're going back to 90s.
Yes, it is.
We're going back to the 90s. So what I wanted to do is bring forth last year something to kind of remember my dad and remember everything that he did. And so I offered up a $500 sponsorship. It originally was for one person. It then rolled into two more on top of it. But really, I'm asking for drivers from all over to, if you notice somebody whose program is kind of struggling a little bit, who could use a little bit of a helping hand, somebody who goes out there and just gives it, regardless of, what's kind of garbage they've got going on around them, and just goes out there and gives it their all and is helping other people. My very first winner of the sponsorship was somebody who was so unbelievably deserving of it, who I have now actually carried on as an ambassador for this year and probably for every other year going forward, is Leonardo Lababera. Leo is basically the poster child of who my dad, was. So absolutely fitting that he was the person who got this. And as I said, having him, McPherson Motorsports saying that we can't be friends anymore. They'll get over it. I'll just steal their cars.
They'll get over it.
Going forward, that was, he was the perfect being. So I want everybody out there, whether you be a fan of the racetrack, whether you are in the pits, you're a crew, to nominate somebody you have noticed who is, just kind of sitting there and could use just, a little bit of Robert Love. And, I don't want you to nominate the person that you race with next door. I don't want you to nominate your brother, your sister, your mom. I want these racers to reach out and really kind of look beyond the end of their noses. What's the saying that we have at the track? Don't drive your hood pins. Well, don't nominate your hood pins. I want to see it to go out farther and to, really kind of reach out to Flamborough, to Delaware, to Grand Bend, to Peterborough. I want to Varney. Like, I want to see, man, if I got to go to Laird, I'll go to Laird. Not really my favorite drive, but I've already done it a few times. So
how can people submit somebody for the sponsorship, Ash?
I want you to just give me a couple sentences, shoot me an email to ashley.mcmartin@gmail.com. This is separate from my business. I know a lot of people see me as Lakeside Mobile Tire because I do. I wear the Lakeside Mobile Tire hat a lot, but this is something that's a lot more positive to me and a lot more personal to me. This is Robert Bourne. This is Robert Bourne's daughter, and this is Robert Bourne's daughter coming out and forward. The other two that I ended up picking up last year was Todd Labadie. And what a phenomenal racer he is. That man just, goes out, shows up, goes out and gives her. And you know what? He doesn't care.
Nope. He said since day one, he just wants to have fun.
I just want to have fun. And the other driver that was nominated and who was nominated by somebody who you've already had on the show tonight is Matt Spry. And I got to at Autumn Colors because it bothered him all year. He had no idea who sponsored him. And Courtney finally allowed us to connect them. And, just seeing that positivity kind of spread around, it's what my dad is smiling down, looking, going, girl, you got this. And I know I've got this because now I've actually done this interview and I haven't cried.
Yet.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Well, and you know what? This is extremely important because we hear this all the time. People bitching that they don't have sponsorship. They don't have this. They don't have that. This is an opportunity to nominate somebody that is deserving of it. And it's not you. You're not nominating yourself. You're nominating somebody that, like you said, puts in that effort and maybe just doesn't have the funding to do what they could. Or they struggle to make it to the racetrack every week,
or they've tried to get sponsors. Yeah. And, I understand doors have been shut in people's faces because it's a tough game out there.
Now, again, to be clear, this is for any division across oval racing in Ontario.
Oval, asphalt, short track racing.
And no age limit.
No age limit.
And no, it's not for men or women. It's for both.
It is for
doesn't matter.
Anybody. And
Anyone.
I am accepting applications and nominations till January 10th. After that, I have my panel that I'm sitting with,
Yep.
and we are going to announce the $500 winner on my dad's birthday.
Yes, and we have 5 days. So you have 5 days to get your nominations in. That's ashley.mcmartin@gmail.ca or .com.
.com.
.com. Okay, that's what we want to get the Rubberboard Memorial sponsorship sorted, and we want to get as many nominees as possible. Okay, it's extremely important, not just to Ashley, but for those within the racing community. Think about those who you feel that this could go towards. There's a lot of deserving names. There's a lot of people that would never, ever, ever nominate themselves. So think about those people. Think about those that put in the effort, not just to do that, but to help at the racetrack, to help others at the racetrack. You know what? To be that friendly face that helps you unwind after a stressful day. These are all the types of people that we want to hear about. Ashley has put this up for people in the racing community that are racers. Go for it. It is, you said $500?
$500. And you know what? We
$500.
also take notice, and not that I merge my business with my pleasure, but we also do take notice for people who are, actively engaging with other racers. And that speaks highly on yourself. And then I speak to other sponsors, and, I have people who come to me and say, hey, you do all this racing stuff. What do I do to get into this? I'm like, oh boy, do I ever have somebody for you. This person has nominated this person. I've seen them. And you know what? That word of mouth goes that much farther.
Yes.
And you know what? It helps. You guys got to work at this. You guys really got to get out there and,
Try.
put together proposals and, not just rely on, well, you were last year and, well,
Yeah.
hey, I met you at the track. No.
Yeah.
Put the effort in, like show what you're willing to give. And, this is something small that you're willing to give to somebody else. And that speaks volumes.
I can speak from our own experience with trying to get nominations. But even just people nominating themselves and trying to get a couple of words. We're not talking a novel. We're talking a couple of sentences as to why that person is the right fit. And Matt Spry's comment tells you exactly what it means. Your help couldn't come at a better time last year, and man, was it a surprise. McPherson Motorsports, how many nominations are they allowed to send in?
As many as you want.
As many as you want. Gord,
my panel is ready.
I have to send in my second batch of nominations too, because I think there's a lot of people out there that are deserving. So ashley.mcmartin@gmail.com. You have until Saturday, right?
That's the 10th. Whatever the 10th falls
Whatever
on,
the 10th is.
That's
so
5 days from now.
Yeah,
and you know
so
what?
Saturday.
If email is too difficult, if you're friends with me on Facebook,
there you go.
Send me
if you need to
messenger.
know how to contact Ashley, if you need a way to contact her, reach out to me. I can do that as well for you. Ashley, thank you so much for joining me tonight. We're going to bump because Austin Ernell is waiting, so we're going to bring him on.
Yes, he is.
And thank you so much for coming on and chatting about it. And I can't wait to hear who gets the sponsorship for 2026.
2026.
Thank you, Ashley.
Thanks, Dolly.
All right, so that is Ashley McMartin, and now we're bringing on. Oh man, this is gonna be fun. I'm so excited to talk to him because he got to race. He was in the Legend cars last year once again, and but he's coming on here because he's our resident expert in the Great Lakes Legend Series. It's Austin Ernell, who is sporting a stash of all stashes, I think. I don't know.
Yeah,
what
a little bit.
It's no Steve Trendell, I'll say that.
No.
Austin, huge news for your division today in the Great Lakes Legend Series is going to race opening weekend for Delaware Speedway. What?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy to think about that we're going to Delaware with our cars, but we did the 2 tests there last year, and I thought it was fantastic. It's always been a dream of mine to race something, either Friday or Saturday at Delaware. And then to get to do it with the APC and the Super Stock Series there is going to be really cool. I know there's definitely some thoughts about it, but I don't know. As long as everyone keeps a level head like you should at a racetrack, I think we'll put on a pretty good show.
So let's put it right out there. This is full distance track. This is not doing the backstretch into the pits. This is the actual track.
Yeah, as far as I know, we're doing the full distance track. The speeds, there were some good speeds there, but I've heard of tracks elsewhere running faster, if not the same speeds. So, and then you got to think with now the Legends doing their shootout winter series at the Roval and using the full track, I couldn't picture them going a lot faster in the draft than we ever will. So,
Absolutely. This was not something that was publicly announced. There was I believe Noel Hamilton was live streaming, and that's how I saw that you were out there. How did that come about? Was it Delaware that came and approached you? Was it Great Lakes Legends? When did this whole kind of concept come together? Was it last year?
yep. So last year it was like a random off week I think we had, and Blake reached out to me, our series director, and he
Yep.
said, "Hey, I've had some questions. People are wondering why we don't run Delaware, why we can't run Delaware. Would you be willing to test?" Well, I jumped at the chance because I got started in racing at Delaware Speedway in the Crown Junior Racing League back when they had that. So,
Yep.
and I've always wanted to run Delaware. So I thought, I'll be one of the guinea pigs. Send me out there. I'll go test. So we did that the one Monday night, and then we had Todd Tolton join us the following Monday, I believe it was, and we thought it was capable. It's a big track. It's wide. It's there's still enough slowdown in the corners. It's not like you just Hail Mary or through there. So it's gonna be exciting to get more cars out there for sure, though. So hopefully, one of the opening test weekends for Delaware, we can get a couple of us to go out together or something like that.
From your experience, what would be the biggest challenge for you guys out there? Is it going to be the cornering, or is it adjusting the car, the drivability? Like what do you think would be the most difficult thing?
I think the most difficult thing will just be the character that is Delaware Speedway. It's coming up out of turn 2, climbing that little hill, and then
Yep.
running down the backstretch, and then it's got some unique bumps to it. It's not high banked. It's not anything like that. It's definitely a unique track. I don't even know how to describe it, to be honest with you.
There's no expectation that we're going to see the Ontario Legend cars as a combination event right now. I would fully expect that you're going to see some Ontario Legend cars if they're not racing that same weekend. We don't know their schedule just yet, but do you feel that there's a limit to how many guys you should have on the track at the same time?
I shouldn't say a limit. I wouldn't. I think 24 would be busy.
Yeah.
Especially, it all comes down to the speed range that we could have out there on a given night.
Yeah.
So if you have that massive speed range, maybe it would be nicer for the drivers themselves to have either A feature or B feature or something, just to kind of keep maybe the closer speeds together. But as long as there's no crazy invert and first place is now firing off 15th or something, I don't see the issue with it.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing, which is similar to just any racetrack, is with Legend cars, the tire to tire hit.
Yeah.
Is obviously a little more dangerous when you're at a higher speed. So it's all going to come down to Jen and Blake and making the officials and that the drivers know not to make any unnecessary movements. But I think having a guy like Andy Camrath, if he's still running the Legend car this year, I mean,
he'll be hard to beat.
Yeah, you guys are screwed, really.
Yeah.
If he's a king at Delaware Speedway. I mean, he's been on those type of tracks as well, just in terms of speed. But he's also somebody that can input a lot. I'm wearing his hat for which way? This way. I'm wearing his hat for a reason. Like he's the type of guy that I feel his knowledge would be perfect for this being the first year that they're doing it. If of course he decides to participate, because you do have a lot of young kids in the Great Lakes Legends. I've heard that potentially you'll have more. I mean, Cole Camrath has been a part of that. Del Freiberger, and I've heard rumblings. There's been talk that maybe there's interest of Thomas Gibbons coming and doing some Legend car racing. Josh Davenport potentially in the future. Ava Boundy potentially in the future. So like these young names all potentially heading to a Legend car division is just going to strengthen you guys. I mean, last year was a little bit difficult because maybe it's not as much of a social presence for the series.
Yeah.
I know that they'll work on that, but as a whole, it was tough to beat Matt Boys last year.
Very.
So this is a great way to try and do it. Do you feel you got a little bit of an advantage now because you've gotten to test before everybody else?
I wouldn't call it much of an advantage.
No,
I
eh?
didn't do many laps, but yeah, there's some big names that could show up for that, whether or not they happen to find a ride or rent a ride, or you never know, like guys could come up from down south just for this. It's hard to say kind of what's going to go on with this deal, but even I seen on Facebook there, Sean Chenoweth is looking for a legend car. Like those Andy Camrath
I'm
and
telling
Sean
you.
Chenoweth, if they showed up in legend cars for that, it's kiss it later, like it's
Yeah.
gone. Like
I,
so,
and I'm telling you, I've been praying to see an LRR battle in like Andy got out there, and the one to his credit, he didn't go out there and destroy the field last year. Like he went out there, he ran top 10 in his like first race in the legend cars, which is it's tough enough, but to go out there and compete at those and to add Sean into that, I'm pumped to see these guys go out there. JR Fitzpatrick needs to be in this race. There's others. I just said like Carson Nagy. Get some of those local guys out there as well, because that's the Ray Morneau, perfect example of somebody at Delaware who would be a perfect fit. Obviously it's a little bit different of a race compared to what you would be doing on a regular. It's a lot longer of a track. So would you be thinking you're doing 20? Like you can't be doing 20 laps around Delaware, no? Like it feels like that would be a really long race.
I feel like 25 to 30 would be comfortable. When
Yeah.
I did my test, mind you, I didn't dive into setup. I didn't dive into the correct gearing. I just
Yeah.
took my car the way it was going to Flamborough. And we were turning lap times. I think my best was like a 21.5. So I think
Okay.
we're only like 4/10 off the V8 stocks, something like that, if they're 21.1. So we're moving for what we are. So
Yeah.
I would think 20, 25 at most would be perfect. I wouldn't want to see a 30 lap race. I'd be so tired by the end of that.
Yeah,
It
I
wouldn't
was
even be funny.
well, that's the thing too, is like would you be doing a qualifier like qualifying heats and then or would you do actual qualifying for this type of thing? Like there's a lot to figure out, I guess
Yes.
we'd say, right? Like logistic wise, especially how many cars you're gonna get.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. Like if you have a, field of let's say 20 show up, it might change versus you have a field of 15, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So personally I would like the heat race idea for qualifying and
Yeah.
then a beat main if needed or some sort of other feature or just laps on the track and that car count, you know what I mean?
The one thing I'm excited about, Austin, is that you guys are going to be able to be on Racing America because
Yes.
being with the APC series, this is a way to make this event even bigger. And I hope that people that are in the Legend Car division remember that, because if your season is not starting, yes, it is a huge risk to go out there and potentially have something bad happen, but I know a lot of people are really looking forward to this. There's a lot of people that are pumped to go racing at Delaware this year. Obviously, there's more than just you guys. You got CVMs, Isma's
Yes.
coming back. You got open wheel sprints coming.
Those things are going to be wicked there.
They're going to
Those
be
410 sprint cars.
insane. And then we'll add on the regular attraction for me, which is that there's going to be a mini stock invitational again.
Yes.
Then they've got the Bone Stock Nationals as well. We're still waiting on the GLL schedule, so we'll when that comes out, we'll likely try and see if we'll get Blake or Jen to come on the show and chat about that. But the best of luck for this season, Austin. I'm excited to see you out there. I'm hoping you'll take victory, man. Marvin wasn't too kind to you last year. You gotta
we had
beat
some
that
issues.
stupid 78 car, right?
Yes.
Like,
yes, I would love to beat him at some sort of track, whether or not we cross paths. I don't know what his plans are for next year. So, but yeah, no, I'd love to get a chance for a little bit of redemption to maybe at least beat him once or twice.
and we're seeing you full GLL, and are we seeing you for a couple Ontario Legends, or do you know yet?
I'm kind of looking at schedules for sure right now. As far as I know, I'm going to run the full GLL schedule just because track's closer to me, obviously.
Yeah.
I'll probably run ACC again just because that's a fun event. And if if plans allow, I would like to run a couple of Ontario shows just to kind of go run with that group, because I've got some good friends that are in that group and that are super fast and that are always great to learn on. So like, yeah, it'd be fun to go run with Mitch Wright and maybe actually get to see him and, not be a straightaway behind. So
That's it. Yeah, that's a good point. But Austin, I appreciate you for jumping on the show late notice as well. So I
yes.
thank you for that, and best of the rest of the off season, bud. And we'll chat in the new year.
Yeah, sounds good.
In the new season, we'll say that.
Yes, we'll hopefully see you at Motorama.
Yes, awesome. All right, buddy. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Austin Arnell from the Great Lakes Legends Series, presented by Fresh Stone Brands. Cam K here on ONTrack Weekly. Thank you all for tuning in tonight. Great show. Make sure you get your nominations out there for Ashley McMartin for the Robert Bourne Memorial sponsorship, $500. Somebody that you believe is deserving of it. We missed on Daniel Hahn today, so we'll try and get him on in the future. Thanks to Courtney Wright, Donovan Clark, Carson Nagy, Ashley, and of course Austin Arnell. Cam K, your host for today. See you all next week.